So next up we have the Chariot, and let's see, the keywords for the Chariot are focus, control, and maneuver. So I thought that this was actually a really interesting painting choice for the Chariot card, mainly because the way that I understand the Chariot is that we're actually talking about the chariot as a vehicle, right? So it's not so much about the person, it's more about the actual chariot itself, which is a vehicle for movement, right? So I thought it was a really interesting choice in that this older lady is on a train. She's basically in a train car, and we don't know where she's going or where she's coming from. But I love that idea of the train being her chariot, right? So we don't know if she's escaping something or if she is maybe going on to bigger and better things. We don't really know her whole story, but she looks like somebody who has traveled for a long time and from far away, you know? I like the idea that because it is a train, it's never going to go off course because a train is connected to the tracks and the tracks are already laid out. So basically, trains can travel, thousands and thousands of miles, and they always will be on the correct course, if that makes sense. Sometimes when things go wrong, the trains go off the tracks, and that's not good. But I like the idea of at least having that foundation there of kind of always knowing where you're going, even if you take, even if it takes a while to get there, right? Or there are stops along the way, right? We can stop off on this train, we can stop off and visit different cities, we can, take different detours, but you're always kind of on that same path that is foundational to this train. And I really like the way that this painting kind of conveys that idea of having, it's like she's in control, but she's not in control of the train, right? Because the conductor is the one controlling the train, but she's in control of where she's going and when she gets off, or, when she wants to come back, or whatever the story is. That would be on you to decide. And depending on what other cards maybe surround it, that can maybe sort of point to what is the current direction or focus that you're currently on, right? Like, where is your attention, or where's your current attention or focus or energy directed at? Like, what sort of train track are you on right now? Okay, is it being derailed, or are you just chugging along, following the course and, just doing the thing, right? So, and the Chariot astrologically is also Cancer. So I also really like the idea that the train car is kind of like protecting her. Like, that's her shell, that's the crab shell, and she's in it. And if you look inside of this train car, if you look all the way in the back, it's really hard to see, but there's actually a little horse in there. You can see a little horse nose with little nostrils, and you can kind of see an eye. It's really dark. I couldn't really lighten it very well without making it look weird. But there's a little horse in there, and she's got the what do you call that? The wagon. So it's kind of like her home, as the little crab, the home is within the shell of the train car. So it's almost like she's kind of bringing her whole home with her on her journey, which I thought was kind of interesting, because the Chariot also represents the crab and Cancer. So I thought that was kind of cool. So anyways, those are my thoughts on the Chariot.